Welcome, gamers from around the globe. You've dropped into the best place for Game Pass news. That's right, it's the Game Pass Tracker Show. This is episode 147, recorded live Thursday, April 4th. I'm Nick Metzger here with the best dang co-host a guy could ever have. That's Mr. Sean Abbott. He's right next to me, or below me if you're on Instagram, whatever. We're gonna fill your brains with all this week's bits and bobs of Xbox. Like this week, we are spoiled, my friends, once again with a flow of games straight from Game Pass. 7 new games added, and it's only the 4th of the month. So you better sit down, buckle up, because Game Pass Tracker Show is one crazy ride.
Hello, everybody. That was a West Virginia hello for Nick because he's just returned from a little trip. Welcome to today's show. We just want to welcome you all to the favorite Xbox Game Pass podcast that's out there, the Game Pass Tracker Show. You can find pretty much every social networking app that there is available to you at GPT Gaming News. If you have any thoughts, any questions, you know the email by now if you listen to the show on a regular basis. But for all those newcomers, it's show@gamepasstracker.com. And if you are liking what you are hearing, please go to your podcast app of choice and leave us a review. We'll read it out online. But all helps us grow, helps us reach more people, helps us do amazing things for you guys. And we wouldn't be a Game Pass show if we weren't promoting the big daddy itself, Xbox Game Pass. If you love Game Pass like we do, and you love our show like we do, and you want to show your support, head to the link in the description and sign up to Game Pass from the Xbox.com website using the link. And not only will you be supporting us, but you'll also be supporting the Game Pass Tracker Show and the family that sits behind it. You'll also be signing up to the best gaming subscription out there, Xbox Game Pass. And remember, we've had 7 games in April so far, and it is the 4th of the month. So sign up to whatever level you desire, whether that be PC Game Pass Core or my ultimate favorite, Game Pass Ultimate. Just play your own way by using the code in the chat or the show notes. Helps us continue to grow, helps us continue to create amazing content, and helps us do amazing things for you guys in the future. So without further ado, Nick, please take us on those country roads and take us to the Game Pass headlines.
Welcome, folks. This is where you're going to get to hear Nick talk about games that he doesn't even know are out yet because I've been gone, guys. Had a great time, but let's talk about what has dropped this week. We'll all learn together. Ark Survival Ascended Cloud out everywhere, basically. Well, Xbox Series X and S. Can't get this unless you got the X or the S. April 1st, respawn into a new dinosaur survival experience as Ark is reimagined from the ground up into the next generation with Unreal Engine 5. Are you ready to form a tribe, tame and breed hundreds of species of dinosaurs and other primeval creatures, explore, craft, build, and fight your way to the top of the food chain? Your new world awaits. That's a chain, not a train. April 2nd, F23. This is already out, but now it's on EA Play. EA Sports F1 23 will be available with Xbox Cloud Gaming via EA Play. Test your driving talents, create your dream team, and be the last to break in the official video game of 2023. April 2nd, Super Hot Mind Control Delete. It's out everywhere. It makes its return to the Game Pass library. Time moves only when you move. Super Hot Mind Control Delete gives you more insight into the signature power fantasy world of Super Hot. With more story, more signature gameplay, more action, and more guns. Keep dancing the slow motion ballet of destruction for so much longer than ever before. And out to, I think, is that everything? Did I get everything? No, there's more. Oh, there's more. Oh my gosh.
There is.
I'm sorry. Yesterday, April 3rd, Wednesday, Lego 2K Drive. Welcome to Bricklandia, home of a massive open world Lego driving adventure. Race anywhere, play with anyone, build your dream rides, and defeat a cast of wild racing rivals for the coveted Sky Trophy. But wait, there's more. Little Gator game coming out today Out everywhere, who wouldn't want to be an adorable little gator, embark on a cute little quest, discovering new friends and uncovering everything its island has to offer? Climb, swim, glide, slide your way into the hearts of the many different characters you meet along the way in this adorable open world adventure. And also out tomorrow, EA Sports PGA Tour, out everywhere, but only Xbox Series X and S. So you got to have an X or an S to get this. EA Play game. EA Sports PGA Tour is coming to the playlist with PC Game Pass and Ultimate via EA Play. Become a major champion. Tee off on the par 3 course at Augusta National, along with 3 new 2024 major host courses. Now remember, to have EA Play, you have to have Ultimate. So if you're or PC Game Pass, one of the two. So that, my friends, is a swath of games, and they're all going to be available to you this week, and you can play them. Well, as soon as tomorrow, you'll be able to play them all. So, sir, Sean, what is coming out next week?
So next week, we start on April 9th with Kona, which is another game making its return to the Game Pass library. It's a strange blizzard ravages Atomipek Lake. Step into the shoes of a detective to explore the eerie village, investigate surreal events, and battle the elements to survive in this chilly, interactive tale you won't soon forget. So again, this is another one that's making its return. And then the next game, which is also dropping April 9th, and you can get this everywhere, but if you're playing it on the console, you can only play via the Xbox Series X and S, which is something that's happening a lot more now with these games as we're getting into the next gen of games that's dropping. This is Botany Manor. I think this is one that, Nick, you had your eye on at one point for the crafting and puzzling side of things. So explore the historic manor home of retired botanist Abriel Green, who has amassed a collection of rare, long-forgotten flora that requires special conditions to help them bloom. So unlock UCs, look for clues in the items scattered around the residence, and solve each gardening puzzle to revive these plants. And then April 11th, which is the last one of the games coming out next week, is Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the Definitive Edition, and this is coming out everywhere, cloud console and PC. But this is also available to you guys that aren't on the Series X and Series S console. Experience the final chapter of Lara's origin as she is forged into the Tomb Raider. She is destined to be combining the base game and all seven DLC challenge tombs, as well as all the downloadable weapons, outfits, and skills. Shadow of the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition is the ultimate way to experience Lara's defining moment. A great game to play, and it's amazing that it's dropped all the additional content in there because there was a lot of it, a hell of a lot of it. So, yeah,
awesome. Coming soon, the month ahead, we have Herald Halibut, which be coming out real quick here, and then Still Wakes the Deep, and then Flintlock Siege of the Dawn coming out sometime summer of 2024. Really excited for Herald Halibut. That looks like it could be a really fun game. And so, yeah. And then new games announced. Sean already talked about Kona. Sir, what is leaving March 31st?
So at the end of this month, March 31st. It's not March 31st. I can't remember what that day is.
I'm sorry, April 15th.
April 15th, I was going to say. We would be talking about the past. I haven't changed that. So leaving April 15th. These are leaving from everywhere. So it's Cloud Console and PC. There's the Amnesia Collection and Amnesia Rebirth, which haven't spent a long time on the service, which is quite surprising. They must not be getting a lot of traction. So they're clearing those to make way for some new stuff coming, hopefully, in the future. Back for Blood, which is an amazing 4-player like zombie style shooter. We think we played this together for a little bit. Fun game to play. Phantom Abyss, Research, Search and Destroy, and Soma. They're all the games that are leaving. So as much as we've had 6 new games added this week, or within the first section of this month, we're also losing 2, 4, 6 games as well. So 6 in, 6 out.
Yeah, and Phantom Abyss is pretty. Didn't that just drop? I mean, it just came out in game, like the finish. It came out of game preview mode, dropped onto, I thought it was onto Game Pass not too long ago. I was trying to remember. 3 months ago. 3 months ago, I guess, it dropped out of it launched its official version 1.0 out of preview mode. So, I don't know.
So hopefully they're just trying to make some money out of that.
Yeah.
Get the game preview, get traction for the game, people interested, and then take it from the subscription style service and hope people purchase it and make some more money on it.
Mm-hmm.
Business sense.
Yeah. Back 4 Blood, though, that's a bummer for a bunch of people. That's a pretty popular game. So
it is.
So as I always say, if you're interested in any of these titles, you have till April 15th to beat them or buy them with your Game Pass subscription. Get 20% off. But remember, you have to buy them before they leave the Game Pass catalog. Once they've left, you no longer get your 20% off with your sub. So there you go. Sean, what are you? What are you excited for any of these? Which ones?
So I've played some Super Hot Mind Control Elite this evening. I've also played Lego 2K Drive. I've got Ark Survival Ascended rolled up on the dashboard. Little Gator looks like it's a fun game to play. I was literally watching some TikToks the other day of Croc.
Oh, fun.
I can't remember. Don't know if you remember that for the PlayStation.
Yep.
Back in the day, but absolutely love that. And I thought, this would be amazing if they redid Croc like they did with Spyro. And then here we go with a Little Gator, which might actually scratch that itch.
Yeah.
I've been interested to give Botany Manor a go. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the whole shebang, all that being there. Just there's a lot of games, a lot of good games. We say this all the time. A massive amount of genres of games that have dropped. We've got arcade style racing games with Lego 2K Drive. You got your driving simulator style game, F123. You've got some PvP stuff. You've got multiplayer things where you can co-op together. You've got a sports game with the PGA Tour. It's just, an absolute plethora of games across a massive genre of games. Something for everyone.
Yep. I do. I agree. I agree with everything you said. I think something you pointed out while you were chatting about the games coming out is poignant, and I think we've talked about it before. They are leaning into the next generation, which, I mean, let's be honest, this generation, we're 3-4 years into this generation. So that you would expect that, but yeah, you're going to start seeing, because I mean, if you look at Botany Manor, I don't see any reason. And I'm not a developer, but when I look at its graphics, it's definitely not its graphical prowess that kept it off of the other Xbox consoles. So my guess is they're just moving towards the current generation. I shouldn't say the next generation, the current generation of games or of consoles. So if you don't have the X or the S, or interestingly enough, if you don't have cloud, right? Most of these games are available on at least the cloud. I think all of them. Going through, checking. Yeah. Yes, all of them are available on the cloud. So you either play on your new box, on this current generation's box, or you play in the cloud. Or PC for a lot of these as well. But so I find that interesting. I think they're moving away from the previous generation.
They're moving away from the previous generation in the fact that you can download it to the console. The fact that you can still play the cloud via the console, which is something I might need to go and try on Jay's, because if you can play that game via the cloud on the previous generation consoles.
Yep. No, that's a great point. Yeah. So you can still use the guts of the box to play it on the cloud, pretty much, but you can't do it. So yeah. Interesting, sir. So yeah, there you go. That is what you have available to you this week and coming out next week. Don't you tell me you don't have anything to play, because Xbox has got something for you. So with that said, moving on to our X feed. X feeds where we talk about our top stories, news bulletins, and feature stories. We have 3 Trace stories for you today. Top stories. Xbox launches free educational field trips based on 7 Game Pass titles. This is interesting. Have you had any time to download any of these? Well, I'm sorry. Let me back up and kind of lay the groundwork, and then I'll give it to you. So they have Xbox has come out with Beyond Xbox Field Trips. There are 7 episodes, which you can download as audios on Spotify or as an ebook. You listen to this book, for instance, like you go into the, the one about Sea of Thieves. The one about Sea of Thieves, and it'll be like, the compass is probably one of the most important tools of any seafaring person. It consists of a magnetic needle. And so it's telling you about aspects of the game in this book or this this podcast, whatever, audio, while you're in the game. Have you had any chance to download these or anything?
I haven't yet.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I want to, because what could be interesting is putting Logan in these situations at 6 years old, because I think he might have a really, really basic understanding of a compass, tells him which direction he is going, or he might even see it as which way he needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously that's not correct. It just obviously just points you in the direction that you're facing, so you kind of have to navigate your way around. So that first lesson, well, it's not. This is episode CFEs is episode 2, which is teamwork and delegation with CFEs. But the fact that it also teaches you about, you know, what a compass does, how it works, why it works the way it works, and then you know, gives you references to how long it's been used for. Like, during the 1100s, people in China and Europe first learned how to make magnetic compasses. They discovered when they magnetized a bit of iron, it floated in water. So the fact that they're then giving you a brief history lesson on an item, talking about how it works and stuff like that, and probably break it down into a way that's really easy to digest for somebody, but also tying it to a really good game that's got quite a lot of depth and a lot of fun stuff to it. I think it's a really good idea. And I mean, if you go through the list of games, we've played Grounded, we've played Sea of Thieves, we've played Powerwash, we've played Minecraft, you played my Flight Simulator, and then the City Skylines and Age of Empires. So there's PC-based games there as well.
Yep. Yeah, I think this is awesome. I'd be interested in. I will certainly, when I get my wife's a school counselor, so I'll be interested to see what she thinks about it. Interesting to see what they do with this, where this goes. At the very least, I think it kind of gives teachers a canvas for how they can use video games in education, because I think that's it's difficult unless it's just like an obvious, like my kids have a math game. I can't think of the name of it at the moment, but it's like an obvious math game where they solve a problem, they move forward, they gain experience points. Noah loves it. It's the gamification of math by all means. I mean, it's kind of like a Pokemon type game, but that's very like on the nose, where this is using a game that's not particularly educational based, like Sea of Thieves, and finding ways to bring education out of it. And so I would love to see them do more with this. But even if they don't, I think and hope this gives teachers a way to look at that and say, maybe I could use it like that, you know? So I think it's cool.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I know Minecraft on there is in there for episode 4, creativity and innovation. Minecraft, I know, has already got a massive educational situ in schools in the UK. They use it for being able to take people around historical buildings and stuff. During COVID, they were taking them around the Abbey and stuff like that in the Minster in York. You could go and do a virtual tour of York Minster via Minecraft on a server that, you know, obviously had restrictions, so you couldn't damage things and stuff like that, because obviously somebody spent a lot of time building this. But
sure.
I think it's good. I think the idea of using Powerwash Simulator for motivation and prioritization, so teaching people how they have to prioritize a job and make money from films and stuff. These are all, to me, real life skills that they're giving them. Not just like, here's algebra, work out X.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, here's, work out the angle or the angle of the longest side and stuff like that. This is like, so you've got an issue here, you have ways and means of doing that, go and work it out, figure it out. And the fact that it guides you through, each one's a 45-minute long journey, and each of the episodes, there's 7 episodes in total, covering problem solving, prioritization, planning and adaptive thinking, and decision making. So all life skills. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I think this is great. I think this is good, and it opens the door, like you say, for teachers in schools to kind of, if they go along with this and be like, I could adapt this in my classroom. I could bring my Xbox in or an Xbox in, and in small groups we could work together. I could control it. We could work together as a group, and the kids tell me how I need to do something. And
yeah,
yep.
Yeah, very cool. I think episode 8, Sean, is for you. That's going to be a special one they haven't dropped yet about the 17 uses of a chainsaw using Doom. So, I mean, that'll be fun. No, I'm just kidding. That's not on there. I just totally made that up.
18 plus only.
Yeah, that's right.
Higher educational only.
I kid. No, I think this is really cool. That is story number 1. Story number 2, Xbox highlights 4 upcoming releases at Special Indie Showcase. I made this with Sean. Do you know what they are?
So the 4 games is Botany Manor, which we already know about, coming April 9th. Jump Ship, which is yet to have a date, and Nightscape, which is also yet to have a date. And then they showed some more footage of Still Wakes the Deep, which is coming June 18th.
They're pretty excited about Still Wakes the
Jump
Deep.
Ship is I know. I'm excited about that game so much. It's going to be scary and crazy and fun all at the same time. So Jump Ship is a PvE mission-based co-op first-person shooter for up to 4 players, where you're the crew of a spaceship. You transition seamlessly from crewing the ship to on-foot exploration and spacewalks. We've got a bit of Starfield-esqueness there. Engage in intense battles both on the ground and in space, and must keep your ship upgraded and intact. Teamwork is a key for survival and victory. We love co-op games. We love space. Jump Ship is the attempt to make those both work together. And then Nightscape, meeting a new goat friend, Layla finds herself drawn into the mystery behind the Starfall. Nightscape is a 2.5D atmospheric adventure set in an ancient Arabian world with a unique constellation power feature. Yeah.
Oh,
and then
here's something interesting. Can I go back? Jump Ship is I was interested in the developer. Jump Ship is an independent game studio founded around an original IP by Chris Olsen, built in collaboration with ex-CEO and co-founder of Playdead, Dino Patti. So, I mean, we love Playdead stuff, so I'd be excited to see. I'm somewhat interested to see how they work that out.
Yep. I mean, it's on Pure Xbox website, is all these titles here, and they've got links to them, but also over on YouTube. So just, it'd be interesting as well if, and I know that falls on yourself slightly, but we should maybe get these added to our roster of things on YouTube at one point.
That would be a good idea. I'll get on. I'll text that guy. I'll be like, listen, get this going, jerk. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry,
that's
no.
Me. That's me, by the way.
I know
guys.
you did visit.
I'm not being a jerk.
I like to poke, but no, they'd be quite useful. And plus, I want to go look for the video, and if I get the notification that we've put a video out for it, then I get to go and watch it. So
there you go. All right, story number 3, y'all. I got a story about this story. I was in West Virginia, just sitting in my cool cabin, and my phone dinged, and I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's a store page for Hollow Knight Silksong." My heart went up. I was excited. I was like, "Gah!" I click on it, and I have to wait because West Virginia and my cell phone internet don't really do very well. But I finally got there to find out that it's a store page with no date. That's like the worst thing in the world. I don't understand. This game is never coming out, Sean. This is the only reason this is a story is the punchline that there's still no date.
I think this is going to wrap ever so slightly into our feature story about the Summer Showcase.
Okay, sure.
I think we're going to see this at the Summer Showcase with a date, and I'm going to dare to say that date will be pretty close after the Summer Showcase.
You live dangerously, Sean. You and 1,000 other people have been predicting that for like the last 5 years.
Yeah, I know.
And I hope you're right.
I try. We try.
Yeah, no, listen, I love Hollow Knight. I mean, I really did enjoy it. So I want you to be right. I mean, the first time I saw this game played was at a thing that never happens anymore, a treehouse on E3, which is no longer even none of that even exists. There's no treehouses, there's no E3s, there's no none of that. And those are all dead now. But yeah, I want you to be right, my man. And I mean, I'm giving him a little crap, but I mean, I understand games take time, and I'm not trying to be a jerk, but man, this thing needs a date, a time frame at least, like, winter 2024. I don't know, some time before the next eclipse. I'm not sure anything, Give me something. That's my personal opinion on that. So,
yeah, I thought it was. I don't know. I should have maybe have added this into a tidbit into the feature story rather than it being on the top stories, because I was in charge of the doc this week. So,
and you did a damn fine job. I'm not at all getting on you. No, I literally would have put this right where it's at. So I would have done the same thing, because that story is not a lie. I was like, oh, a store page, that means it has a date. I was so excited.
I know, and then the thing is that I didn't know if you'd seen it or not, so I was like, I didn't want to message you while you were away and be like, hey, look, have you seen this? Because I'd have obviously been fueling the fire of the disappointment because it had no date, and I'd hate to have done that because you were away. But no, I was the same. I saw this and thought, ooh, and then quickly had a look and then read through the comments and in the on the Twitter post, and I was like, crap. Never mind.
Yep.
But then that's when the cogs started whirring. It's like, why would they have the page? Why would it have a rating? Why does it have all this if they aren't ready to kind of just either drop it out of nowhere and shock everybody, or for it to be announced at the summer showcase? So
yeah, no, I mean, you're right. It's probably dang close. I sure hope that's the case. But yep, I like where your head's at for sure. Those are our top stories, folks. News bulletins this week. We got 2 of them. Xbox Series X and S versions of Hellblade 2 confirmed to run at 30 frames per second. I don't know if anybody cares, but there you go. Yep. Walmart is practically giving away the Xbox mini fridge. $30 for the mini fridge. This is the mini, folks, so it's the smaller one. It holds just like basically a few cans, much like this fantastic Coke Zero, which is not sponsored, but if it was, that would be great. You could do that, Coke. That's fine. So it cheapest 8 cans. Hey, it holds 8 cans.
The most expensive ones dropped by $100. So
yeah. So there you go. I'm excited I'm not going to buy that. I mean, it's cool, but it's just not for me. So you can go.
I tell you what, in this country, it would not be on in the house because energy prices are crazy, and those little fridges sap.
Oh, do they? So this is coming from a man who knows his energy. Trust me. Sean, I'm going to go back for just a second. I know it's the news bulletin, but why do I don't tweet, post X a lot, but I do X stalk a lot of things. I don't know if that's a thing. Nobody seems to care that Hellblade 2 is 30 frames per second. Why do some games get a pass, it seems like, on their 30 frames, but other games it's like 30 frames per second. Wow, it's just going to ruin the whole game. Life's coming to an end for this game. You might as well bury it now. I just never understand why.
So the game you're referencing there is Redfall.
Well, there's been others too, though, that have said it. Starfield, yeah. Starfield was another one. So it's like, I just don't understand why some games are like, sure, that's fine. And other games, like, Twitter's like, and just, basically throws it in a dumpster and lights everything on fire.
I don't know if this has got away with it because they've turned around and said, and this is from the Video FX director himself, has kind of turned around and said, the Xbox experience should feel more cinematic, which is what people want from Hellblade, is it to feel more cinematic at 30 frames a second rather than it being 60 frames a second and being jerky in some places. And he references the similar kind of style movies like what we're going to see in Hellblade 2 is shot at 24 frames a second. So you're going to get that kind of realism feel and immersion. And they don't want to break that because the game is, I've not played the first Hellblade. I should go back and play that.
You should. You'd like it.
But
creepy as hell.
But talking to Jaya, who's played it and been excited about it, and she enjoyed it, is that I think it would take away if you started having performance issues at 60 frames a second and something didn't quite look right and it broke the immersion, that it would disrupt the flow of the game. So I think a lot of people are giving this a kind of a pass that it's going to be locked at 30 frames a second for that reason.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're probably right. It's a cinematic 30. That's going to be a new thing, Sean. They're going to tag that. That is totally what's going to happen. Hellblade is going to start, well, it's a 30, but it's a cinematic 30. So, I mean, really, it's like 60 if you consider that what we're saying. I mean, you just wait. It's going to be a thing. You're going to be like, oh, well, it's not 30. It's a cinematic 30. It's going to work, too. I like it. Feature story. That's the end of our news bulletins. Feature story. Rumor mill here, folks. Gears 6 could appear at the Xbox Showcase this summer.
Yep. So this comes from a statement from Jeff Grubb, who hinted on the kind of funny Xcast that I've heard some stuff might be happening with the Gear 6 this summer. So I think that a T sounds right for me. That seems like what we can expect. So, Jeff Grubb's known for having information. Kind of Funny is a great podcast to listen to for news like this. They do have great guests on, like Jeff Grubb. So I completely agree that we're getting to the point where we could have some Gears news coming soon, along with Silksong news. And then some dates for games that are announced to come day one to Game Pass. I think there's like 30 something games that's kind of sat there waiting.
Yeah, we have a lot waiting for dates. That's for sure. I have no idea what I want from this summer showcase, Sean. Like, I mean, I feel like I went in very unknowledgeable of what the of what the feature story is. I mean, I know I've said I was gone, but just so everybody understands how gone I was, I got home at 8 tonight and we recorded at 8:30. So, like, I tested equipment and then we hit go. So so people understand entirely how gone I was. So, but I don't like.
I mean, we didn't even tick our tick boxes at the top of this doc to make sure that we've done everything that we need to do. So, if we hear random phone noises or suddenly Nick kind of goes and runs away because he's not been for a pee break since he traveled home, because that is up there. We are old and we need to be reminded to go to the toilet sometimes. But no, you've come in late. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't know if we wanted to do this as a little prediction cast, like teaser trailer, because we've got that coming up soon. We need to at some point kind of have a prediction show on like what we would like to see,
Mm-hmm.
or we can just quickly talk back and forth. Like, would Gears? I mean, have you ever played any of the Gears of War games?
I played the first one. I haven't played any of the others. I hope that doesn't take away my Xbox card. But yeah,
no.
So. But I will say, Sean.
I mean, would you be excited with them?
Yeah, I would. I would, and I actually wouldn't mind going back to some of the other ones and just getting a feel for them. So I played the first. I think it was in college. Gosh, yes. Wow, I didn't know that long ago. Yeah, I was in college and played the first one. But I will say, I went to this great website called GamePassNews.com. They give out all the coming soon games, and at the very bottom, it's TBD'd a bunch of games. So when I look at this, there is like a bunch of options here that don't have dates that I could totally see them giving dates to, that they've gotten some show before, like South of Midnight, That game looked really awesome. Marvel's Blade, Contraband, that we saw like 3 years ago. Perfect Dark, Everwild. That's a rare game that like we've been waiting for something from that for a long time. It keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed. Fable. Probably not going to happen, but it would be cool.
Fable.
So yeah, there's a bunch of when you come here, there's a bunch of games. Elder Scrolls 6, because the Xbox Summer Showcase is always usually called the Xbox and Bethesda. Now I don't know if they're going to change that to be like Xbox, Bethesda, and Activision. I'm not sure. Summer Showcase, but it is normally always like called Xbox and Bethesda Showcase. So Elder Scrolls 6.
I mean, if you want to go on what was shown at the Developer Direct, was it Developer Direct with the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle? We haven't got a date for that, so we could see a date for that.
That would be a great time. Yeah, but I mean,
there's 40 games here that are yet to come day one. I say yet to come. Are yet to come. With looking at the list here, we've got starts at Botany Manor, which is coming out on the 9th of April, and then we've got dates for Botany Manor, Harold Halibut, Iden Chronicles, Another Crab's Treasure, Lord's Manor, Hellblade 2, Still Wakes the Deep, Frostpunk 2, Stalker 2. We've got dates for that. We've got rough dates for things like City Skylines, Flock, Nirvana, No. And then all we have is like Q2 for Galactic Care. We have Q3 for Sopper. We have Q3 for Dead Static. So there's we've got games that we know dates for. We've got games that we know quarters for. And then when you start getting into 33 Immortals, Age of Mythology, Bounty Star, Ghost Bike, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, they're all just TBD 2024. So, like you said, there is a lot of games. There's 20 games here which could all have dates given. They could be dropped literally the day before, the day after. Sleight of Hand could get a date. We could see more gameplay of Sleight of Hand, which was a big game earlier on in the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they can tell a story on the Summer Showcase easily of hey, here's what's coming out this year. They're almost at a point to where I think they could do that. And I know Phil was it didn't work out that well for him, but they're almost at a point to where they could do that 12-month thing again, where they're like, hey, listen, here's the next 12 months, what you're going to be doing. They did that a couple of years ago. They missed a couple of the big ones, and I think they'd be gun shy to do that again, worried that they miss the big ones again, and people give them some crap. But they need the roadmap of this year, and at least if they don't do the 12 months, this is what's coming out in 2025. They don't have to give dates, but just be hey, just a couple of the big games to taste of these are the things we're hoping to come out. And Gear 6 could be one of those games for sure. Sean, how excited would you be for a Gear 6?
I'd give it a go. I haven't played a Gears of War game since Gears 3, I think. Only because I got interested in playing other things. College, my Call of Duty grip took me big time. Kids. I think Emily must have been born around Gears 3 kind of time. And then I met Lindsay, got married, had another kid, inherited a kid. So lots of children involved in this. But yeah, I'd be excited for a Gear 6. That'd be fantastic. I'd be keen to have to go back and learn the story of how it's gone. Obviously, Marcus took some paths in the last 2 games, so I'd need to learn the story behind stuff. But it's graphically, it's always been a really good game. The storyline's fantastic. The controls were difficult to get to grips with the first one. I think it was the first time you ever had that run to cover and jump over the cover and stuff. So it was a bit awkward to learn, because obviously it was the first game of its kind. But once you got it, and like that muscle memory came in. It was great. So
Yeah, the cover that's exactly what I was going to say. I remember being frustrated because I would just kind of like stand out there and be like, and all of a sudden it'd just be dead. And I'd be like, you really have to learn that mechanic. But once you get it, it's really cool and it makes a lot of sense. Um, so yeah, I think they have so much. That showcase could be like 3 hours, easy.
yep.
Like, and it
And
not
we
even
haven't even
feel
touched on
slow.
any hardware stuff.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That showcase could go a long time, especially now that you consider, like you talked about, Call of Duty. Like, are they gonna have a Call of Duty, or a Call of Duty, an Activision Blizzard showcase? Is that going to be part of Xbox, or are they going to kind of split that out and make that their own thing, and then do a Xbox Bethesda thing? Like, it'll be interesting to see this year how they do that, because there's a whole new horizon for them having Activision Blizzard in there as well officially.
Yeah, and I forgot about that. There's, like you said, is there a catalog that they were going to announce? I think we've already had a couple games kind of teased, I believe. Or am I just dreaming and hoping?
No, I think they said
It's
some were
been a long
coming.
week.
I don't think they teased that some were coming, and obviously they said Diablo 4, and so that's now here.
Yeah.
But and they said more to come, as I understand or as I remember it. But yeah, so I mean they're dropping Activision games on the showcase for sure. I mean, I don't know how that entirely looks, but they're dropping. It might not be dropping, but they're dropping the news of more Activision games to come. I would be shocked if there's not something at that showcase that drops from Activision. Unless Activision is doing their own showcase. And then I take that back. I wouldn't be shocked because it might happen at Activision showcase.
So, yeah. I mean, like I said, we need I need to sit down. I need to look at the games that are out there, games that are possibly in development, rumors that are kind of milling, and then we should definitely do. It's June. Is it June 3rd? Is the showcase?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we should maybe do like mid-May, do a prediction cast of like things that we'd like to see, because it gives us time for more rumors to come out and maybe some games, be teased a little bit, kind of things like that. So, and then let's see, like mid-May, do a prediction cast. We could hit out some stuff on Twitter, and if you're listening to this or you're watching live, you drop in if you would be interested, and we maybe bring people in and say, hey, give us your views and stuff like that. We'll read them out in the show. We'll take them into consideration, and we always make a good scoring system. So
for sure, man. We will get on that. Anything else before we move to our dashboard?
Nope. Let's get on to what we've been playing.
The dashboard. Welcome to the dashboard, where we talk about what we've been playing and what we are looking to play here in the near future. Sean, what have you been playing, sir? You got some games up here.
So yeah, I have obviously been playing Fortnite. I'm still dabbling in that. They dropped the Korra, who is the last waterbender, I believe, from Avatar. So they dropped her. So I've been doing those challenges to unlock that skin, because Emily really likes to play Fortnite now, and she's a big fan of Avatar and stuff like that. So she's enjoyed playing that and helping me do that. Obviously, still cracking on with the current chapter or season. I can never remember which way around it is. It's like chapter 5, season 2, or it's season 2, chapter 5. One of the two. Anyway, the Greek Gods event, I'm still playing for that. There's constant little quests popping up and stuff like that, characters to find. So constantly new weapons. And then this evening, I had an hour with Super Hotline Control. Obviously, with it being a returning game, it remembered all my save from the cloud saving synchronization. So it loaded that up, it synchronized the save, and put me back into the More program, which is the main game. And then you go further, it's just like it's a kind of a repeat of the main game, but you can unlock more nodes, which give you access to different hacks. So like I've now unlocked a hack where I can ricochet bullets off the wall and stuff, which is quite fun to do. But also means that when some things explode and bullets come out, there's just bullets spraying everywhere, and becomes really, really interesting when you kind of you have to stop. But if you rotate the player, obviously bullets keep moving. So if there's stuff bouncing behind you, you kind of like it gets crazy. But yeah, I love that game. It's great. It's still great to play first player. It's a completely different game play style and mechanic to playing it via VR, but it's still a really good game to play.
Nice.
You kind of get into this habit of like you feel like you're John Wick. I don't know if you've ever watched any of the Keanu Reeves John Wick films, where like he's going through like corridors and rooms and stuff like that, and he's like taking a guy out, then like he'll throw something at another guy and like punching it. You kind of get into that slow motion Max Payne bullet time kind of thing where you're like, I'll shoot that guy, and then that guy I'll throw the pistol at him, so then he'll drop that pistol, I can get it and shoot that guy, and it becomes like a strategic thing that you're kind of trying to work this out really quickly.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like an environmental puzzler. Almost, it sounds like within
and you
like
can pick
a fighting
up, like,
sequence.
So there's ninja stars, ashtrays, telephones, little tiny dinosaur toys, bowls, and kind of stuff like that. And then there's levels that are construction sites, levels that are gyms, levels that are dojos. So like there's samurai swords, you can deflect bullets with the samurai swords and stuff like that. So it all becomes really, for a very simple game of just crystallized people and crystallized items on a blank white background. There's no detail to the background. It's basically just white 3D shapes. Really basic game, but so innovative and fun to play.
That's cool.
And then I played Lego 2K Drive. It came out today or the 4th. Yeah, it came out on the 4th of April, which is today. Fun arcade style play. Sits really well in the Lego franchise. You can, when you unlock cars, you can change the color of them. You can add bricks to them. You can unlock bits and pieces that you can kind of attach to the cars. The game mechanics really easy to get a grip to. Very fun. Kids can play it quite well. The drifting aspect of it is just hold down the brake button and then turn. As long as you're holding the accelerator button, you'll carry the speed, but you'll drift and you can work boost. There's a boost function. There's a jump function. But then as you're charging around the environment, if you go from the tarmac to the dirt, it'll automatically change from a car that drives on tarmac to an off-road car. And then if you come off the road completely and go into the water, it changes to a boat, and you can change which boat or which car or which off-road car. So there's loads of stuff to do. And as Lego games usually are, it's a massive collectathon. So there's loads of side quests and side missions to do. There's like certain bricks that you have to hit the jumps to collect and things like that. So it's just a huge, huge game. Very open world with fast travel aspect.
I didn't realize it was an open world game. I'm kind of interested now.
Yeah, you can drive around wherever, but as you're driving around, there'll be like Lego people to the side that might have little quests for you. There's gates that you can pass through that will automatically like start a challenge that you have to do. So like some of them are timed challenges where you have to hit through so many checkpoints in a certain time, and you can get gold, silver, and bronze. Just really good fun. It's really, I think they tested the ground with Forza Horizon 4, where they brought Lego, like a Lego world, into it. And I think off the back of that being really successful, they thought, hey, let's just go and do our own game. And it works really, really well.
And is this 2-player co-op?
I'm not 100% certain.
I'm gonna look.
You can play it online with friends.
Sure.
So
I'm looking that up right now.
Or you can play it online with everybody. So
okay. Because that could be pretty cool. Noah would like it even if it's not, but it would be really cool if it was. Here
I don't think it's too expensive for the Switch either. So if you plays it
is it
on the Xbox and you
platform?
could go, I'm assuming so because it says you can play
It is.
online with everyone. So
It's cross-platform. It is local co-op, 2-player, Xbox local multiplayer, 2-player, online 2 to 6. Yeah, cross-platform
wow.
co-op. So yeah, it's got all the things. Shared split screen. Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, I will definitely download this for sure. Anything else
And
for you,
then
sir?
games wise, no. I have taken him back to the skateboard again recently. I think I sent you the video of my most recent new trick.
You look pretty good.
Oh, there was lots of failures. I have a very bruised ankle and a very bruised foot. There was lots of failures. Yeah, having a good time. It was a random dry day for April. So took the kids to the skate park. Logan kind of took a couple of his Hot Wheels monster trucks as well, and he kind of wreaks havoc throwing them down the ramps and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, but it gives me time to kind of relive my youth a little bit and learn stuff that I was still too scared as a kid to try. So
yeah. That's cool. Anything on your docket for well, you talked about Ark. Anything else?
Little game. I want to try that because it
Yeah.
looked really cute when I was looking at the video for it earlier. Botany Manor, and then I think I've got some time off in the middle of April, so I'll probably give the Shadow of the Tomb Raider a really good playthrough as well because that game with all the DLC. Because I don't think I purchased all the DLC. I think I only purchased the Witch one. So,
Gotcha. How so I've been on vacation. I did play, and I the only thing I played before I went on vacation was Hot Wheels Unleashed. I played that with Noah. We played split screen. We did enjoy it. In the end, he was like, I think I'd rather just play Mario Kart. It's not a bash on the game. Mario Kart's just the top tier, excellent game, that it comes that you got. But we had a lot of fun with it while we were playing it. It's its own deal. But it was a good time. I'm interested for Lego 2K Drive when you said open world because Noah and Ariel both actually really got into Lego City. And one of the things they loved about Lego City was that it was open world and you could jump in a vehicle and you could drive it around and you could get out and blah, blah, blah. So I'm interested to see if they'll take to this the same way. So on my docket, since that's the only thing I played, on my docket will be Lego 2K Drive. I don't know if I'll get to all these folks. I'm going to be real honest with you. But Lego 2K Drive, Little Gator Game, Ark Survival is not likely to happen, but we'll try our best. Ark Survival, and I actually wouldn't mind trying the Super Hot Mind Controlled Elite because Sean's talked about it even before it dropped this week on Game Pass. He's talked about it a bunch. So I wouldn't mind giving that a go so I could have some of my own thoughts and experience it for myself. So yeah, that's on my docket, and since I haven't played anything, that's pretty much all I got for the dashboard.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't think we have any questions that have come in for this week. So we can go into the party chat and talk about your time away, or we can wrap the show up and we let you go sleep because I know you've done some driving today. You've done like 4 hours worth of driving. So.
Oh no, buddy, we did 7 altogether. I just did 4 straight hours in a row so I could get here on time for y'all. But no, it was we won't hit the button, but it was a good time. We had I'm trying to think of things, trying to think of like a story or whatever or something. I almost saw a semi smash into a bridge because he didn't realize that the lane was ending. That was probably the scariest thing that happened. Yeah, the lane was, many signs were telling him the lane was going away, and I don't know what he was doing, but he did not see it. So, but West Virginia, man, it's a good place. People should go visit it. We were in Moundsville. And it was ironic, actually. We were talking post chat, and I was telling you, your country's. I appreciate that your country has all this history, where ours, that dates back so much further than our country, because we just don't have that, which is true for our particular country. But one of the cool things is we were in Moundsville, West Virginia, which is aptly named because the Adena people, Native Americans, built these like mounds to bury their chiefs and shamans and very important, socially important figures. So I just thought it was really neat. We got to walk up. It's like 250 feet tall, and you can walk to the top and then go to the museum and see it. So there's a lot of stuff to see. And we went to jail. We went and visited a jail, which seems like a weird thing to do on your vacation, but why the hell not? You know.
So you sent me a picture of a rotating like gate, which the only other one that's in existence is in Manchester, which is like 2 hours north of me. So.
Yeah, apparently the guy came from the UK and he was like, "Y'all, this is the best thing. You should do this. It's in Manchester." And so they got the plans on how to do it, and yeah, those are the only two, according to our guide at least. Those are the only two in existence like that one. So, but
I wonder if it's in Strange Ways, because that's a Manchester prison, I think. And that's quite a famous Manchester prison.
Yeah, this one, I took a picture of all the places you could see this prison, like all the different, not places, all the different like movies. It's been in a handful of movies. It's been in like most of the Ghosts, paranormally episode type things. There was a whole list of them on a board. I took a picture of them all. So yeah, it was interesting. It was a good time away. It's just me and the wife. The kids stayed with the grandparents. So it was fun. Played a lot of Retro Bowl. I'm sure listeners are sick and tired of hearing me talk about Retro Bowl, but that was pretty much the only thing video game wise I did play. I did go to a retro game store, which was fun. Yeah, look, they had a bunch of old NESs, and you could play some PlayStation. They had a PlayStation hooked up. And I was like, "What are you doing with your life? Why did you choose that?" No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I did say that to him, but I was joking. And they had some OG Xboxes, so it was fun. Good times.
I do that every time I see a retro console shop. I always go in.
Yeah,
and it's like Lindsay absolutely rolls her eyes at me sometimes because she's like, "Oh, I forget that I've got a giant nerd for a husband." But like, I'll go in. I like to chat to the owner and stuff like that. And like, have you got any interesting items in? Like, have you got some stuff that don't see very often, and like we'll get chatting and things like that. So I like doing stuff like that because it's interesting. So I mean, we're going to Liverpool later on this year. The women are off to go and watch Taylor Swift live. But yeah, I know Tay. That's about as much as I know. But while I'm there's a place called NQ64. Northern Quarter 64 is the name of the bar up in Liverpool. And it's a retro arcade style bar. So you can go in, you can order drinks, you can play retro consoles. There's like stand-up consoles, sit-down ones, and stuff like that. So while they're at Tay, I'm going to sit in NQ64 and play old consoles for the entirety of their live gig. And so I'm going to sit there, I'm going to eat food, maybe have one or two drinks, because I have to pick them up. So I need to be pretty careful with what I'm doing.
Hey guys, I can't make it anymore. I'm sorry. I'm very deep into the beer and also into the arcade. Uber to me, please.
I wonder if they. I wonder if they, if what games they have. If like I could start a game and finish it in the entirety of the concert.
Well, it all depends on how good you are, I would imagine, or how many quarters you have. Those are the two things. That's what an arcade depends on. How good and how many quarters do you have?
Yeah, it's true. I've never finished Pac-Man. I've always wanted to finish Pac-Man. After reading Ready Player One, I'd like to finish Pac-Man because apparently that's quite an interesting game to play all the way to the end.
I don't get it. When they came out with what was it, Pac-Man 99 or whatever it was. People were like doing so good. I don't understand the puzzle of it. I always get myself caught in a corner or eaten or something. I just not for me. God bless you. So there you go. But yeah, barcades, man, they're fun. Lots of good time. Went to a place called, I was telling you about this. Went to a place called Promanti Brothers. All my Pittsburgh people out there. Went to one of them that was just inside of the West Virginia border. And yeah, the sandwich was the size of my face, and it had fries on it and sour cream and about 7 pounds of pastrami. I'm pretty sure. I didn't actually measure it, but that's what it seemed like. And I ate it all. So there goes the chubby bracket out the window. But it was totally worth it.
Definitely. I mean, there's no volume of good food that I wouldn't eat to say it's worth it. So like this evening, tea for this evening is like Lindsay was like, "Oh, I'm making a burger like for us each for tea," and I was like, "Ah, how many patties have we got?" She's like, "Well, we've got 4 quarter-pound patties," and I was like, "So you're making me 2 burgers then?" Yes. So I was like, so then I went to the store. I bought some sauerkraut because I like sauerkraut on my burgers. Couldn't find any decent pickles, so I kind of left them off. And so I had sauerkraut, cheese, smashed patties, red onion. That was it.
That's good. Like, I
2
mean,
of those.
we've talked pretty long for this party chat, so stick around or don't, whatever. Like when you say tea, like this just baffles me. You're like, I had tea. When I think of tea, I think of like crumpets or I don't know, little cookies, and like you dip them into tea, and it's just and you're like, I had a double cheeseburger basically with like fries and sauerkraut. I mean, that's a tea that I can really get behind. I'm not gonna lie. Like hell, if that's what tea is, I want tea all the damn time. That's what I'm saying.
Tea. It's I don't know if it's a Yorkshire thing. I don't know if it's because I'm specifically from Yorkshire. Tea in different parts of the UK might mean something different, but here, like we have dinner time, which is like the afternoon, like 12-1 kind of thing, where you might have like a sandwich and a cup of tea. But then tea time for like me growing up as a kid and stuff like that. So tea time was like what might as a kid. Here we go. This is going back. So my mum would stand at the back door. And she would literally shout. She'd be like, "Sean, tea's ready!" And that's like wherever I was in the vicinity of the house, I was like, "Food, off we go." So, but yeah, that was like just from a kid. It's always been tea time. I don't know. Maybe I have to ask my mum the premise of like why it's called tea time and why it's then followed me. It's the same. Like even Logan now calls it tea time. He was like, "No, this is dinner time," because obviously from school they have lunch and then dinner, but it's like he's kind of got to the idea of like, tea's ready and he'll come down. And
so is dinner and tea one, or is dinner and tea separate, or do you have like 4 meals? Is there like breakfast, lunch, dinner and tea, or tea and dinner, or is that like when you say tea, do you mean
breakfast,
dinner?
lunch, dinner, and then and snacks? So after that is snacks, so like our supper. Logan will still have a bowl of cereal for supper, but he also likes to have snacks afterwards.
Sure. But so like when you say tea, you mean dinner. Like those two are the same thing. Okay. All right. I'm
so like between 5 and 6 p.m. Sure. The meal that you'd have around that time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get it. I just didn't know if you had like here in Taco Bell or here in America, there was this advertisement for Taco Bell and they called it the 4th meal, which was like basically you would go because they were open like all night long. So you would go out at like midnight and have your 4th meal. So I wasn't sure if this was like your version of the 4th meal or if this was just dinner. But now I get it. It's just dinner, just called tea. So that makes sense.
Tea is something. Tea for me is something that you can have at any time. So it's like especially at work. Work's one of those where like sometimes over the radio we might get somebody shout, "Hey, tea's brewed," and like then that there's a big pot of tea in the mess room to go to and have and take a cup, and we kind of all sit around and chew the fat.
Yep,
so to speak.
Hey, well, this was a fun party chat. So that's what I've been doing. We learned a little bit about the UK. We learned a little bit about West Virginia. There you go. By the way, I hope all y'all the rain is done because they're in a pretty rough spot. Lots of flooding and it could get real bad, but they're not sure. So hopefully the rain has stopped for you people after I left, and all is well, and the Ohio River can crest and go back down, and everybody will be happy and safe. So we'll see. But wishing you the best.
So, well, thanks very much for rushing back and joining us for tonight's show.
Anything for you guys.
It means that
I wouldn't miss it for the world. Love you guys.
And thanks very much for everybody for sitting through this week's show with lots of news, lots of games dropped, a few little tidbits in the top stories and news bulletins, and then obviously the teasers in the feature story. So yeah, obviously keep your eyes peeled on the Twitter page at GPT Gaming News for all the new games that drop, anything that's announced new. Tend to drop that information there, and follows up with some pretty cool photos as well. I also believe that soon we're going to have some little review videos that are going to start appearing on Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, TikTok, and things like that. So keep your eyes peeled for those too. There's some strong work gone into that. They look amazing for the mock-ups that we've seen. So I've got the mock-ups that we've seen so far look amazing. Some great work from our graphics team there and our social team for always keeping you guys all up to date. So until next time, everybody, we shall see you later.
See you later, guys.